Greetings Internet! For various technical reasons, which I will not bore you with in this particular video, I have to set myself up a separate development environment for a website project, separate from my usual stuff. After failing to get it going on a bunch of junk hardware I happen to have lying around, I decided the best option would just be to buy a cheap as possible bundled PC and set it up as that, which hopefully I can repurpose into something else at a later date. That was delivered this morning, and so today we're just going to do an unboxing and then set it up. There are two boxes, one of which I expect will be the monitor, which I happen to be needing a new one of anyway, and the other one will be, I suspect, the base unit and all the other stuff. So we shall start with the base unit. Instructions. Probably won't be needing those. Far too much packaging. Tiny little cheap and light PC. Barely weighs anything. Bag full of cables and stuff. More packaging. I presume this should be the keyboard. Is it a decent keyboard? No, it's a terrible one with the wrong shaped enter key, so that will always be the, the last resort spare keyboard. But as cheap keyboards go, I've seen worse. Then we have the monitor, which will be the much more used long term. More instructions that I probably don't need. I don't think I've ever needed software or documentation for a monitor in the past. Peeling plastic time. I was hoping it'd come off all nicely in one go, but it's not being cooperative. Right, let's plug it all together. I'm presuming this bag is a mouse somewhere, yes. Also covered in plastic. And again, as cheap bare bones mice go, I've seen worse. Straight out of the packet, the cable is already knotted. Then you need power, of course, which interestingly isn't a standard kettle cable. It's more like a laptop setup, which I guess is why that is so light, because the power supply is all here. Right, where are the connectors on this thing? Right, let's see if it powers on, shall we? Monitor and base unit. Well, this is interesting because I was under the impression that it didn't come with a copy of Windows. I could have probably got it cheaper if I'd have found something that didn't come with an operating system, because we're about to replace that with a copy of Debian Linux anyway. But of course, I have to go through all the Windows setup process before I can get to the point where I can reboot it and initiate a boot from CD in order to install Linux on it, which is a little bit annoying. Fresh Windows, full of pre-installed nonsense, all of which I am about to delete. Right then, in goes a CD. Then we will use a device. Goddamn freaking secure boot nonsense. You're not helpful. Disable. That's more like it. So unfortunately, it seems to be that the network driver for this computer is not open source and therefore not on the default installation package. So I have to use a different installation CD. That is unfortunately one of the issues you get with Linux sometimes. So I forget what we're on now, though. This is probably fifth attempt. Let's see how this one goes. So it turns out that the DVD I burnt wasn't bootable, so that was no use. So I tried again with the original CD and to get the drivers I needed on with the USB stick. That didn't work very well. It couldn't find them for some reason, but it turns out it didn't like the USB stick I was using. Not entirely sure why, but trying with a different one and it worked, and we're finally making some progress now. So we might actually get things installed this evening, which, to be honest, I was beginning to be a bit worried about. And now it's decided it doesn't want to read the CD anymore, which is bloody typical. This project has been a string of multiple failures that led up to me buying this PC in the first place, and this isn't helping at all. So I guess now I'm going to go and burn a new copy and try again. So I reburnt the full installation DVD rather than the quick installation CD and ran the installation program again with the additional Wi-Fi drivers from a USB key, and it is actually making progress now and installing the system, but it's also got dark in the meantime. Alexa, turn on Lounge Bright.
Okay.
That's... Now I'm terribly backlit. That's better. Hello. So it's starting to look like I might actually have a working system by the end of the evening, although it's been taking a lot longer than I hoped it would. But right now I'm getting hungry, so I think it's time to take a break for food. Half an hour or so later, it's still installing, but now it's time for burgers. God damn it. So it seems the very last step of the installation failed and it wouldn't install a bootloader, and so now the computer does absolutely nothing whatsoever when you turn it on. And I think I am therefore done for today, because this entire project has been nothing but a string of software and technical failures, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I mean, I guess try again tomorrow, but that's a job for tomorrow. It's already taken up far more time of today than I ever expected it to, and that even I hadn't even got to the configuring the actual software on it once I'd installed Linux. And at some point I have to spend a bit of time and edit this video, so I think I'm just going to do that next. So, thank you for watching my day of technical failures. How's your day been? Tell me about it in the comments down below, and I will see you again tomorrow.